I recall very vividly in late 2002 or early 2003, walking through Veterans Park with Reverend Friend and several other people. We walked by the old memorial for the veterans. It was a ragged old flag in the middle of a circle of broken up concrete, and that was it. And Reverend Friend said, "This is a travesty. This is a total travesty. And I want this Veterans Park to have a memorial to honor, truly honor the veterans. Something that is indicative of how we appreciate the veterans and what they've done for us." So he decided that that was going to be his next project after the first Memorial Day parade that he was putting on. And he went home that evening and drew a sketch on the computer of his idea and his vision of a new Veterans Memorial. He wanted it in the center of Veterans Park where everyone could see it, not hidden in a little corner like the old one. And so he arranged a meeting with the mayor at the time, Greg Hill. I was there, Shanti was there, Reverend Friend, of course, and Greg Hill. We met at the Elephant Bar, sat against the back wall, and Reverend Friend presented his drawing to him and his idea of putting a fitting memorial for the veterans in the park. Well, Greg Hill was very excited about the idea and thought it was a great idea. He liked the drawing, and he suggested that he contact Ernie Odell, who was the treasurer and also a veteran, the City Hall treasurer and also a veteran. And so, being a veteran, he thought he might be very interested in it and would like to get involved. So Reverend Friend contacted Ernie, set up a meeting at the Catalina Coffee House, and I again was there. I think Shanti was there, and Reverend Friend presented his idea to Ernie and showed him his drawing. And Ernie was very excited about the idea and thought it was a great idea himself, and he would like to be involved in it. And so Reverend Friend gave him his drawing, and Ernie took it home. And Reverend Friend continued, working on this project. At the same time, we were working on putting together the Redondo Beach Memorial Day Parade, the very first one. And we had a meeting at the hotel in Torrance with the board of the parade, and Ernie was there. And Ernie turned up with this beautiful rendering, put it on an easel for everyone to see at the board table, and it was basically an embellishment of Reverend Friend's initial drawing. And we all thought, well, that's great. He's taken Reverend Friend's drawing and he's just embellished it because he's an artist, and so he made it look really, beautiful. And we thought nothing more of it. Well, that's great, Ernie, thanks a lot, kind of thing, So nothing more was thought about that for a long time. And for many years, they worked together. Reverend Friend worked very hard trying to get interest and trying to raise funds for this. And there were a lot of things that stalled out. A lot of people put the brakes on it. However, finally, Reverend Friend got pretty much disgusted with the delays that were being, put in his, like roadblocks. So he decided that the city should put up some money to get this started. And so he lobbied all the city council people, took them out to lunch and discussed this with them and asked them would they support his idea of the city putting up some seed money to get this thing going. And he got one of the city council members to put it on the city council agenda. And we all went down, and he got lots of people in the city to go down to support the idea to really force the city to do this. So we had a packed city council meeting, and the idea was put forth. And there was a lot of objections, but eventually, and I'm certain due to all his hard work, he got the city council to vote for it, and they put up a $50,000 seed money. And that was really when things started moving, because they got the money started. And they set up this task force as well, which had been actually set up prior to that, and Reverend Friend was kind of leading it. They didn't really have a leader yet, but he was the moving force behind everything. So it was then, shortly after they got the seed money, they had a meeting. The task force had a meeting, which I wasn't at, but I heard about it. And Reverend Friend had to leave early because he was not feeling well. He's fighting prostate cancer, and he's got a lot of physical problems, and he just had to go home. So years later, we discovered that at that meeting, when he walked out the door, they voted him off the task force. Never told him about it, and played along for years that he was still on it, but then he never was invited to attend meetings or anything. And it wasn't until many years later that we discovered at a meeting with the new mayor, Mike Ginn, and two members of the task force, John Simpson and Ernie Odell. John Simpson let it out in a moment of anger that they voted him off because they had decided, they made a vote that the task force could not have anybody on it except for veterans. And Reverend Friend was not a veteran, and so they voted him off the task force, unbeknownst to him, and at the same time took city money on a, to me that's discrimination. You can't take city funds, public funds, and have a discrimination about a task force that cannot have civilians on it. So that's my story about it. That's what I know. And up to this point, Reverend Friend has been totally dissed from all recognition of all the work that he did, all the hard work he did for years. And he's still being dissed by everybody on the committee and by the city. And I want the truth to be known and justice to be had for Reverend Friend.